They came out of the forests like ghosts, silent, fast, and relentless. What was once a rare sight in the wild has now turned into a full-blown invasion across the farmlands of Colorado. Wild boars, once symbols of untamed wilderness, have multiplied at an astonishing rate. They tear through crops, rip open fences, and leave behind trails of destruction that stretch for miles. What used to be a quiet rural life has now become a nightly war zone. For farmers, this isn't about hunting for sport anymore. It's about survival. It's about protecting their land, their crops, and everything they've worked for. The plan for today's hunt was laid out with military precision. From the ammunition and rifles to the tracking dogs trained for years, every move was deliberate. We advanced toward an area notorious for wild boar activity, a patch of open field bordered by dense forest. The air was cold, our breaths visible in the morning light, and our hearts beat in rhythm with the anticipation. Out there, it was just us against nature's most destructive invader. The first sign came fast. A lone boar trotted along the far edge of the field, completely unaware it was being watched. I steadied my rifle, waited for the perfect angle, and squeezed the trigger. The shot echoed through the valley. A clean hit. The animal collapsed instantly. A sense of triumph washed over us, not pride, but relief. Every successful hunt meant one less threat to the farmlands. We pressed forward, moving toward the hilly terrain where the soil was torn and roots were exposed, clear evidence of heavy boar activity. The slopes were steep and the undergrowth thick, but the vantage points were perfect for spotting movement. It didn't take long before another boar appeared, dashing downhill with impressive speed, trying to vanish into a thicket below. I took aim again, fired, and watched it tumble through the brush. An hour later, we shifted strategy, moving toward the lower plains where visibility was better. The dogs, unleashed and focused, picked up fresh scents almost immediately. Their barks grew sharper, signaling prey nearby. Hunting wild boars demands silence and precision. Even a faint noise can alert these sharp-eared animals. They are far more intelligent and cautious than most people think. One wrong move, and they vanish like shadows. Suddenly, a large boar burst out from behind a bush barely 5 meters away. It was a blur of motion, snarling, charging, unpredictable. Instinct kicked in. I raised my rifle and fired in one smooth motion. The shot hit clean. Dust and dirt exploded as the boar hit the ground. brief moment, time froze. The silence that followed was deafening, broken only by the faint rustle of leaves in the wind. But the hunt was far from over. Moments later, another boar tried to bolt through the clearing. I didn't hesitate. Another squeeze of the trigger, and the beast fell instantly. Each encounter was a reminder that these animals are not just pests. They're powerful, dangerous creatures that can weigh over 300 pounds and charge with terrifying speed by mid-afternoon. We had set up another ambush near a patch of thick brush. Hours of patience finally paid off when movement flickered in the shadows. A boar emerged cautiously, sniffing the air. I steadied my aim and fired a precise shot. Another clean takedown. Every successful moment like that made the struggle against the growing boar population feel a little less hopeless. In rural towns like Dinsley and Sibling, November usually means celebration, the corn harvest season, when farmers gather their hard-earned crops. But this year, that joy turned to heartbreak. Night after night, herds of wild boars stormed through the fields, trampling months of labor into ruin. Watching acres of corn flattened and destroyed by rampaging animals ignited something in me. Enough was enough. It was time to fight back. At dawn, our hunting convoy rolled out. The dogs were restless, the engines humming softly in the cold morning air. Barely 10 minutes after arrival, we spotted movement shadows darting in the distance. I raised my rifle, fired, but the massive beast kept charging forward as if unfazed. These Colorado boars were no ordinary prey. They were bold, aggressive, and frighteningly resilient. Then came the chaos. The dogs drove the boars straight into our line of sight, and within seconds, the field erupted in a storm of noise and motion. 2 clean shots from my partner and me, 2 boars down almost simultaneously. The adrenaline was indescribable. That double takedown lit a fire in the team. Every hunter was focused, determined, locked into the rhythm of the chase. Suddenly, a black shadow flashed across the field. We ducked low into the tall grass, waiting for the perfect moment. When the boar broke cover, we fired in unison. The animal dropped instantly in the open field, the echo of the shots fading into the mountains. In another section, our teammate John found himself face to face with a charging boar. But his calm aim and steady hand ended the confrontation swiftly. As the day wore on, the dogs continued their relentless pursuit, flushing out another massive boar from deep within the woods. It came barreling toward us, furious and unafraid. I steadied my rifle once more, took aim, and dropped it before it could close the distance. Every encounter was a battle. Every hunt a reminder of how serious this crisis has become. Wild boars here aren't just surviving, they're thriving. They breed fast, adapt quickly, and have no natural predators to control their numbers. They attack livestock, destroy crops, and even threaten drivers on rural roads.
If you'll enjoy this video, please like and subscribe my channel for more information.